what are the views of science on yoga and Ayurveda? Yoga and Ayurveda are very, very ancient systems that go back several thousand years. Right, Indian systems that emerged out of ancient India. If you find the earliest evidence of yoga in statuettes from the Saraswati Sindhu phase of Indian civilization that goes back 5-6 thousand years before today. So that's how old yoga is, and most likely Ayurveda also would be that old. So these are very ancient systems that they well predate any other system of healthcare. The Chinese like to tout their traditional Chinese medicine. Well, the Indian Ayurveda and yoga go way before the Chinese medicine. They predate China itself. If you look at China, if you look at the history of Chinese civilization, the recorded history of Chinese civilization goes back about 3.5 thousand years. Yeah. So yoga and Ayurveda predate China itself as a civilization. Uh, Now, what the Chinese have been able to do is that they have been able to bring traditional Chinese medicine into the modern age. There are all kinds of herbs and remedies that are available in ancient Chinese medicine, and they have been able to. What they've done is that they have researched these herbs and remedies through through the using the methods of modern science, 20th century science to even 21st century science. And one of the most important anti-malarial drugs, artemisinin, I think it's called. I'm not sure what the exact name is. The commercial name of that is Falsigo, I think. That was discovered through research done on ancient Chinese herbal remedies for malaria, right? So there's a great deal of potential in ancient Chinese medicine. Well, I would say there's a even more potential in Ayurveda if it is properly researched, and the various herbs and other preparations and treatments are investigated scientifically. I mean, what are the active compounds that are at work in various substances and various herbs, like Brahmi, for instance? Brahmi is well known to increase your mental acuity, your alertness, maybe even the level of your intelligence, and so on. But nobody has bothered to do any research on Brahmi, right? Brahmi, and there are so many other herbal remedies from Ayurveda and so on. But in recent times, people have indeed started doing some research into Ayurveda. And let me show you an example of that. So let me share my screen. And here we are. This is, once it comes on screen, this is a research paper that has been published in Nature. As you can see, Nature Scientific Reports. This is from 2015. Genome wide analysis correlates Ayurveda Prakriti. So let me just read out the abstract for you. The practice of Ayurveda, the traditional medicine of India, is based on the concept of three major constitutional types: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, defined as Prakriti. To the best of our knowledge, no study has convincingly correlated genomic variations with the classification of Prakriti. In the present study, we performed genome-wide SNP single nucleotide polymorphism analysis of 262 well-classified male individuals belonging to three Prakritis, and so on and so forth. So we found 52 SNPs were significantly different between Prakritis without any confounding effect of stratification after 10 raised to 6 permutations. Principal component analysis of these SNPs classified 262 individuals into their respective groups, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, irrespective of their ancestry, which represent its power in categorization. We further validated our finding with 297 Indian population samples with known ancestry. Subsequently, we found that PGM1 correlates with phenotype of Pitta as described in the ancient text of Charaka Samhita, suggesting that the phenotypic classification of India's traditional medicine has a genetic basis, and its Prakriti based practice in vogue for many centuries, especially actually millennia, resonates with personalized medicine. So, this is where you find that genome wide analysis correlates Ayurveda Prakriti. There's a more recent article from Springer from 2018, which also talks about this translational potential of Ayurveda Prakriti concepts in the area of personalized medicine. So this concludes by saying that the East welcomes the West to personalized medicine, and it also kind of corroborates the Ayurvedic classification of individuals into various prakritis, the doshas, vata, pitta, and kapha. So as you can see, there is indeed a genuine scientific basis to Ayurveda. You would also find the same thing in yoga. I mean, there have been some studies done on the beneficial effects of yoga on the human body, the human mind, meditation, and so on and so forth. And they have certainly found. Don't have the uh, result here because I've not looked it up right now, but check it out. Google it, search for it, and you will find studies that are done and that do demonstrate that yoga too has beneficial effects on human well-being. So there are indeed, in recent times, scientific studies that are now being carried out slowly on Ayurveda and yoga, and these studies do confirm that both of these systems, yoga and Ayurveda, have beneficial effects on human well being. So that's what I can say about this in brief.